up and sit down. Shut up and sit down.
Marshall's got Richards coming up outside, now inside, Richards pursued, he pushes Jensen away, Pat Richards has scored!
G'day guys and welcome to the Catbros. After 2 painstaking weeks off, that seemed to take forever. I'm Ryan, otherwise known as Old Panther, and with me of course is Aaron.
Hello.
Yes. Now, I want to jump straight to it because I'm actually pretty keen for this. We were talking pre-stream about all the drama that's been happening, so we want to have a bit of a point of difference. We're going to look at the good news stories.
I think we were both pretty keen for this week and this conversation, or this stream, I should say.
Well, you can't turn around, figuratively, on social media without running headfirst into Brandon.
A wall of negativity.
Yes, somebody's doing something to someone. Like just when I thought that stuff was over, then you're hearing about I think Milford's having some dramas, and it's like, oh my god, what is
whether
going
it's
on?
Buzz or whether it's Hooper or whether it's whoever the heck else it could be.
Hi Ash.
There's always something.
Welcome, we missed you. Yeah, you know what they're like. It's all about the drama clicks. Whatever gets the most clickety clicks these days.
That's it.
But yes, well, we got Ash at least. So thought today we talk about some good news stories. One of the best places is obviously Footy Smiles on social media.
Yes.
I
went into their catacombs to find some good news stories,
yes,
which there are plenty of. An absolutely amazing page to read and to see the stories that they post about the players. There have been some absolute crackers over the last few years, so cool to have a bit of a look at some of those tonight.
Yeah, which, funny enough, I had a look just out of curiosity, and they got just over 3,000 followers on Twitter. I'm like, what's happening? There should be so many more people getting in on this. You got people like, obviously, the mainstream guys, they're getting all the views, and you got guys like, Clarky and that getting Well, he's got like a bazillion followers on Instagram or something. I'm like,
Like, post to it.
every time a story gets posted or something somewhere, everyone's like, oh, why don't we hear more about the positive stories? Go click on it and watch it. Follow people like this. Go follow Footy Smiles. Literally everyone.
Yeah, everyone who ends up watching this, as well as subscribing and following us, or subscribing to and following us, make sure you go subscribe and follow Footy Smiles, because, yeah, a great outlet for positivity in this great game of ours.
Yes, and also make sure to actually be subscribed to us as well. Just putting it out there. Don't forget, do that.
Yes, do that.
Hey,
Absolutely
Justin.
do that. Hey, Justin.
But I did think I would start with a bang and someone who I think is well deserving of a bit of discussion. Ronaldo Mulatalo, hope I didn't butcher that, wins Ken Stevens medal this year for the work he does. I think it goes without saying that he's pretty fantastic. Actually, and it's not the only thing. I think he does quite a lot. We'll go through it here. Let's see if I can bring it up and make the buttons do their job. Because they often
Good luck with that.
don't listen to me. So, go me, I guess. Technology is a wonderful and terrifying thing. Alright. So while I'm bringing that up.
Arthur's off to the Warriors on a loan deal. Is that a whole year thing? Because most loan deals have been temporary. The only loan deal I can think of so far that hasn't been short term was Harry Grant.
Yes. I'm having technical difficulties here, so that's fun. Okay,
You're okay with losing him for a year, Justin? We'll interact with the chat while Ryan has the technical issues.
yeah. So it looks like I'm not showing that. For some reason, it's just out of right now. See, live, man. Live TV sucks. For some reason, the buttons aren't doing their job. You had one job. Yeah, that's... Sorry, guys. I'm just going to have to read it to you because it's being ridiculous. So yes, NRL.com, Sunday 3rd of October 2021. Cronulla Sharks winger Ronaldo Mulatalo has won the 2021 Ken Stevens Medal in recognition of his wholehearted community and charity work. Seriously, it's crazy how much he does. Mulatalo 21 was selected as the 33rd recipient of the award, brought to you by blah blah, ahead of fellow finalists Jamal Fogarty from the Titans, Ryan Madison from the Eels, and Cody Walker from South. Oh, there you go.
I think Cody Walker was the People's Choice finalist. I think the other three were automatic qualifiers because there's always a People's Choice finalist where the representatives from all the other clubs go up and in a public vote, the winner out of all of them joining the finalists. So I think it was Cody. I don't remember who.
Yeah, it might show up in the article here, but I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. As part of the prize, he will collect $3,500 for his nominated charity, Stepping Stone House, and pocket $3,500 for himself. Oh, well, that's actually kind of cool. I'm gonna Google what they do. Who did he give $3,000 to? Give me an about us, people. Our mission. I know, I'd be showing you all this, that was the plan, but buttons will button. Stepping Stone
Used
House.
a button in this case.
Yeah, I know, it's... Technology is ridiculous. I need some 5G up in here. Oh, just reminds me of that story you were telling.
That was a rip snorter, that one.
Stepping Stone House provides a safe place for children and young people at risk or experiencing homelessness so they can begin to heal, build resilience, create connections, and become the very best they can be. Oh, so that was his chosen charity, who I would put. Moving on. Yeah, so really, really good one, actually. I really like that. And having kids of my own, that's actually kind of scary to think how much homelessness there is. So it says on their page.
It is terrifying.
Yeah, like the littlest thing, and how crazy real estate's going now and everything. Like rentals are nuts up here. I don't know about everywhere else, but it says on their page, 1 in 3 Australians experiencing homelessness are under 25. 1 in 7 young people will experience a mental health condition. Like, it's pretty dramatic numbers.
Scary.
Yeah, so at just 21, Ronaldo has displayed leadership beyond his years. NRL acting head of participation, pathways, and community, Andrew Every said, wow, that's actually his name, Andrew Every. He has led the Sharks community appearance hours 2 years in a row, genuinely passionate to give back to the community. Well, the rest of the team's going to have to step up the game, aren't they? And what are they doing? One of the most admirable...
together, guys.
Yeah, I know, right? Kick him out of the comp. That's not good enough. Send him to Perth. One of the most admirable qualities about Ronaldo is his selflessness. I was impressed to find out that during the lockdown restrictions in New South Wales, he was calling Sharks Club staff offering financial support. Holy dude. He's like the most giving human being in the universe. Thank you to Ronaldo for being a walking example of the NRL beliefs of being inclusive, positive, united, and disciplined. The work he's doing is having an incredibly positive impact on communities, not just in Australia, but also in the Pacific. It is a privilege to recognise Ronaldo during the biggest day of our year. Ronaldo is an example of many players who dedicate their time giving back to the community. So yeah, big spiel the day. Trying to see if it actually mentions in the article whether they mention there's a specific thing he did. It was really good, but apparently not. Of course not. Google just...
Uncooperative AF.
Yeah. What is it about tonight? Like, technology has gone into hibernation as it's the off season.
Even though I continue to need technology for work.
Don't we all? Yeah. Oh my god. You're killing me here. Yeah, it's not bringing up the thing I was looking for. Oh my god.
Well, we can improvise.
We're gonna have to. Sorry, guys. It's gonna be one of those. This is what happens when you take a break for 2 weeks.
Yeah, technology's like, nah, stuff it. I don't want to come back.
Yep. You got comfortable. See, this is what happens. You get complacent on your holidays. It's the off season. Everyone's getting complacent. We'll skip over to Footy Smiles. The first one I've got here, and I wish I could show it. Andrew Fafita has had a tough week where he found himself in an induced coma, but after seeing Alexa's story, he found himself inspired. Alexa is in hospital for a serious road bike accident. Instead of dwelling on her... Oops, they've written it. Bloody Smiles has made a mistake in the writing. It says on her she injury. So, dwelling on her injury, She is using the time to inspire others. Andrew Feeder has so he went and saw her in hospital. She's been in hospital for 37 days, but instead of dwelling on her injury, she is using the time to inspire others. Met this true champion today, said Andrew. If you were thinking I had a bad couple of weeks, Lex had a bigger battle than me. Made me feel how good life is today. Thank you for being my grateful of the week. You taught me a lot by being in your presence. I'll forever remember that moment. And it's funny, a lot of people give Fafita grief about being a bit of a thug in that, but that one's a good one. I like that one. Like, you imagine what that 5 minutes meant for her, and especially while he's in recovery too. Like, he could have just said, "No, I'm good. I'm just gonna chill." Back. You there? You there, Aaron? Yes. Oh, look at that. More technical difficulties. What is it about today? That's it. Looks
I think
like
we had a slight glitch in the matrix there.
yeah, looks like it's gonna be one of those days. Super casual, laid back. I'm gonna rename this the laid back off season stream.
Where everything is going wrong.
Yeah, it's gonna be one of those days, unfortunately. So what can you do, I guess, when the footy gods come after you? They really do come after you.
We'll make it work.
Yeah, we'll get there. But no, I was just saying, as Andrew Fafita, the picture is him when he was actually in the hospital gown and everything. So he was during his recovery time. He was still in hospital, and he still took the time out to go and make someone else's day that little bit happier and take the time out. Which, for a guy who's got the reputation of a thug and all that sort of stuff in the game, I think is pretty special.
Yeah, it's a really good sign that a lot of these players know their role or know their position as role models, and most do use that for good.
Yeah.
Even a player on like you said, who's got a bit of a reputation as a thug and a bad boy on the field, but even while he's recovering in a hospital, he's gonna go and make a young fan's day. Like, how good?
Yeah, I do think there's more good than bad. We just see the bad more because it gets hyper sensationalized. Is that even a word? I don't know. It's a word now. I made it a word.
We invent words on this stream.
We're creating language and culture right now. But yeah, I do I think it's a bit of a minority that other bad ones. You just hear more about it because it sells more stories.
Pretty much. That's pretty much what it all boils down to.
Scrolling down. Oh, here we go. Footy Smiles retweeted November 6th. It's Aaron's mate, Adam Dewey, taking the time to drop in at Tommy's 40th and give him a West Tigers jersey. Made Tommy's day, seriously. Adam Dewey is an absolute legend. I wish I could show this stuff.
Dewey. He is such a good representation of NRL players in the community. He does so much stuff. Like, after the whole incident in Lebanon last year that left him in tears after the Tigers got pumped by the Knights, he still went and did a lot in the community to try and get some meals and stuff to send over there to support people, because that whole incident, bad time for the people of that community. But to me, he's just an absolute standout for what NRL players can do with the power and the influence they have when they use it for good.
Yeah, he's very.
I see so much on Facebook about them, particularly one little Tigers fan everyone who watched the doco earlier this year, episode 1, he made an appearance yeah, he is an absolute special little fan of a kid, and yeah, Adam's his favorite player. And Adam is so good when it comes to him. It's just it warms my cold black heart.
But yeah, I think he's very well loved by most fan bases. He's one of those players. I
You
think
can't not really.
yeah, he transcends the tribalism of the NRL. And just to prove the point, one of the second comment on the tweet is this needs to be the sort of rugby league news splashed all over the newspapers. Adam Dewey is an absolute superstar. Well done, and see what I mean? Like people are like, this is the stuff that needs to get out there. It's crazy.
Why not fill the back page with stories like this one?
Yeah, like you even put it next year's drama one. Everyone can click for the drama and go, oh, hey, look what Adam Dewey did. How cool is that? Come for the drama, stay for the good news stories. Yes. It looks like he's special needs, some description, but I can't. Obviously, being Twitter, they don't tell big stories about them, so I can't see. It's just everyone congratulating and saying how cool Adam Dewey is. But yeah, that's awesome. Like stuff like that. Especially because like people, like that do get a lot of, a lot of drama in their life. Not just the physical or mental stuff that goes with it. They get picked on, they get put down, they get discriminated against. It's a rough life. So when someone like him, as you mentioned, the power and the prestige and all that sort of goes around someone like that, for him to do that is huge.
Absolutely, it is. I could sit here all night talking about Adam Dewey.
That's it. It's the Adam Dewey stream now. Let's get some pictures of Adam Dewey up. Has he got a shirtless one somewhere?
The Lebanese love God. No, that's Alex Twal. Never mind. I don't remember who posted that, but someone did. Alex Twal, the Lebanese love God. Actually,
I didn't see it, so I'm gonna take your word for it.
I think it was Robbie.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Well, Robbie said it in an interview of some description. I don't remember. I don't remember. I've seen something about a Lebanese love God somewhere. I just forget where it was.
Yes, and Justin, being a Broncos fan, would like this one. When I first sort of started recording videos and stuff, I was actually contacting clubs and looking about good news stories like this. The most receptive club about it was the Broncos. A lot of clubs were just like, nah, stuff, yeah. You want to talk about good stuff? Who cares? There was only a few clubs who really were even interested in talking about that stuff and sharing information on that sort of stuff. And Broncos were the absolute keenest out of the bunch. I think the three clubs.
Yeah, and that's saying something because they have some of the most talked about people or talked about players up there, like in all the worst ways. So it's like good to know that the club has those players, but still wants to talk about the good in their club and in the game.
Yeah. And being the big club that they are, they got a lot of power to do good, especially being a one team town sort of deal.
One more year.
That's one more year, but that's all. Even then, where is the? I mean, they represent that geographical location, but still, like, that's a big deal because they are so popular and they have so much. Like you talk about Adam Dewey having prestige, the Broncos 10 times more.
For sure.
I'm just scrolling down Footy Smiles Twitter, and what should I see? but Aaron's future wife would kill us if we didn't mention this one, and I'm really irritated that I can't show it. Is Brian Toto proposing after winning a premiership? Rings all round.
And confirm she did actually say this to me. I told her what we were doing in our next stream, and she's like, if you don't talk about Brian Toto's engagement, I am blocking you on everything. And I'm like, okay.
It's been
Lucky
done.
for her, we were already going to be talking about it anyway. Or lucky for me, I should say.
Yeah, lucky for you.
Lucky for me.
See, I'm good. I just buy chocolate. My wife forgives me for everything. I know. It was super cute. How could you not, like, talk about it? Of course we were going to mention this. This was, like, so cute. And, you know.
My favorite part of it was the footage of the lap dance in the sheds afterwards that he was giving her, and then he proceeded to kick her in the head. Did you see that footage as well?
I saw the lap dance. I don't remember there being a kick in the head, but I saw it when it happened, so I might have just forgotten about it. Maybe blanked that part out. So when I told my wife the story, what? No, there was no violence against wives. What? But
accidental violence, accidental kicks in the head.
He's probably one of the most coordinated guys in the game. What does he do?
But like, how good was it seeing not only it happen, but the way his teammates got around him afterwards? They obviously were in on it. They obviously knew it was coming after the game.
It was super special, and like this is probably going to be one of the biggest moments of his entire life. And
she's in the chat. She made it into the chat just in time for us to have this particular conversation.
We mentioned it, so now you can't block him. You actually now have to marry him. It's the rules. I don't make the rules. I just try and live by them.
No block, please.
Please no block.
Please no block.
At least for this week.
Yeah, wait to see if I do something to piss you off next week.
There's always something else.
Oh, absolutely there is.
I've learnt this lesson the hard way. But yeah, that's what I say. This is probably one of like the biggest moments of his life, winning a premiership. Like the amount of work he's put in this over the years, and he is essentially sharing that moment with her. Like he gave up a little bit of that spotlight for her.
His team gave up a little bit of that spotlight in the entirety to get around him as well.
Exactly, like you said, they got around him. Like the team's doing that, so they can have that. She can have that little special something too, and they can share in it. And it's like it's a little bit mushy, if I do say so. Just a little bit mushy.
There are a lot of cheesy, corny proposals out there, and that's probably very close to the top of the list.
Oh, off topic, but there was one the wife was watching the other day. It was like an Adele concert on, and some guy brought his partner out, and she was blindfolded and had the headphones that drown out the sound, the noise cancelling headphones, because she was a mad Adele fan. And yeah, he proposed to her on stage in front of Adele, and she sung to him and stuff. So,
did she say yes?
Lucky for him, she did. Because
that could have been incredibly awkward.
That would have been really awkward, but yes, not quite as good as this one, but that's what just reminded me of that. I'm like, hey, that's another one. It's the thing to do, I guess. I couldn't do it like that publicly. I would.
You're gonna have to start giving me ideas, I reckon.
Yeah. It's all right. We're doing the research, so now you know what to do. So you need to win an NRL premiership and then propose on the sideline.
Also, off topic, there's some channels out there on YouTube who do like reactions to stuff, and one of the reaction topics you see is proposals gone wrong. And there was this one in one of the proposals gone wrong videos where he's basically proposing at the foot of a waterfall and drops the ring.
Oh my god!
He's on a rock in the middle of the water, at the base of a waterfall, and he drops the ring, and it's just gone. It is out of there.
Oh, that is. Oh no! That is terrible. How would you feel? Those things are expensive too.
Yeah. you can't help but feel bad, but at the same time and place, I guess.
Yeah, it's it was a
or
high
more place in particular.
Yeah, it's high risk reward strategy, and he definitely felt the risk on that one.
I hope he still got the reward.
Well, you'd hope so. Maybe hopefully she appreciated the effort, but I don't know. He can go to his backup and talk about Brian Toto. All else fails. Scroll down. Footy smiles for some more. Ash says Drinkwater still linked with Knights. Are they still going on? I don't know. I haven't seen much of that. I'm too busy working. Unfortunately,
I've seen the Drinkwater talk has all died down.
Well, yeah, because I know there was a bit, but then I haven't seen anything for a while. So, I mean,
but because Pierce is gone, everyone's being linked with the Knights.
That's how it works, isn't it? It's I'm surprised.
Yeah, every Tom, Dick, and Harry gets linked with a club once a player leaves.
See, and then when a player does go there, they get to say, "Look, I called that. That was me. I get special credit for guessing." Just don't look at the list of like 100 players that I mentioned, and yeah, I have good mail. Trust me.
Okay, so I am going to go off topic again and ask the question: who feels, or what are people's thoughts on the Dolphins' first signing? Chloe has already told me her disdain for their first signing and saying it's not a great first signing and hyping it up the way they have been. What does everyone else think? Does everyone else like Kafusi as the Dolphins' first ever signing?
I mean, technically, he is an experienced Origin player. Technically speaking, I don't know. I think it was always going to be hyped because it's their first. It's just.
I thought they'd based their first on
I thought
a spine player, like a player that you can actually look to build a club around. If you get a player of the spine in there, then you can really start to base whoever else you want to come to the club.
Well, that's what I was about to say. I thought before all that happened, I thought it'd be a marquee spine player like a fullback or a halfback or something, and then to be the draw for the rest of your roster, essentially.
You want to encourage everyone else in the comp to come and play under so and so.
And if it was gonna be a second rower, you'd think it'd be someone a bit more noteworthy. Like, you look at Fafita signing for the Titans. Something like that, where it's like big news. It's like, oh, hang on a minute. You sort of stop and take notice. Like, not a lot of people are gonna stop and ponder for more than, oh yeah, okay, cool, he signed for them. That's as far as it's gonna go. Justin says underrated signing in my opinion. I'd love to hear why. Is there something we're missing?
Like, for a second rower, Luciano Leilua could have been good. Obviously, he's going to the Cowboys now. He won't be at the Tigers next year, but he could have been a player that they chased.
Yeah. Speaking of that, did they ever resolve that? Because I know it was a bit back and forward whether they released him or not.
I don't think they are. I'm pretty sure the Cowboys offered a player the Tigers didn't want. I've seen a lot of not really argument in the fan base, but discussion about from Tigers fans whether they want Helam Lukey or Taumalolo.
You're not getting Taumalolo.
No, I wouldn't want Taumalolo anyway. I'd prefer Lukey. He's younger, not going to cost anywhere near as much. I think Taumalolo still has 5 years left on his 10-year contract. And for the last 2 years of those 5 years, he's not going to be the player he was when the contract was signed. I just don't think it would be a very smart business decision. So a younger player like Lukey, who actually did pretty bloody well in the games that he played, he'd be the kind of player I'd want to go for. From there, if we were going to do a swap.
Yeah. I don't know. But honestly, I wouldn't have had a forward anyway. I mean, I guess beggars can't be choosers. They're going to take whoever comes, but...
I don't remember who they offered, but the club didn't want them.
Yeah. What's this? Scrolling down. Footy Smiles retweeted Michael Chamis. Benji saved my son's life. Why the boy with the crown signature will finish as king. Ooh, let's click on that. In his prime. So this is Sydney Morning Herald. Unfortunately, I can't show it. I wish I could, because that's the beauty of YouTube, and normally I can. And I tested everything early, so it didn't work too. For some reason, it's just garbage. Garbage. In his prime, Benji Marshall was rugby league rock star, but there is a side to the veteran playmaker only few had the privilege of seeing. The curtain on one of rugby league's most glittering careers may be hours away from closing. Benji Marshall has been rugby league what very few have been before. The rock star, the magician, and to 16-year-old Leighton Giles, who 11 years ago was given 6 months to live. The lifesaver. It was grim as it could be. Leighton's father, Wes, said about his terminally ill son's battle with short gut syndrome. I'm going to look that up because I don't know. Short gut syndrome. I've never heard of it. Short bowel syndrome, or simply short gut, is a rare malabsorption disorder caused by a lack of functional small intestine. Primary symptom of diarrhea, which can result in dehydration, malnutrition, and weight loss. Oh my god, that sounds horrible. That poor kid. That sounds like really, really gruesome and bad. I don't. That's sad.
Unpleasant to say the least.
Which the interesting part is it says 11 years ago he was given 6 months to live, and he's still going. He's a little fighter right there.
Keeping on trucking.
Ash says it was Nenai, not Taumalolo.
Oh yeah, well,
maybe in reference to
a
what
lot
you were
of
saying
fans
before.
a lot of fans on Facebook wanted Taumalolo, and I'm just thinking, no thanks.
He's a beast and great and all. There's just, I don't know. Maybe it's the new rules, but I wouldn't
you'd
take
still
the
be
risk.
paying out the full contract.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of money in a long-term contract. I don't know.
Yeah, he's on like a 950K or $1 million. And the other problem is, particularly for this season, he's one of the players who's refusing to get the jab. So
really?
his availability for interstate games is going to be severely impacted. So you're not going to be able to get value for money from him because he's not going to be playing the full season.
Yeah.
I remember it was a few weeks back. It was the weekend I was away in Sydney. It was posted on Twitter somewhere. I don't remember exactly where, but there was an article stating the 15 NRL players, some of which were named, some weren't named, that were refusing to get the jab. And out of the 15, 4 of them were Raiders.
Yeah, I heard there was a few Raiders boys. But yeah, I hadn't heard about Taumalolo.
He was at the top of the list because they listed them in order of their salary. And Taumalolo was the most expensive of the players on the list. There was a Tiger, an unnamed Tiger on, I think it was 120K or 140K or something like that. Based on that, I had a guess as to who it was. I can neither confirm nor deny if I was right, but based on what I know of Tigers players' salaries, I feel like my guess isn't terrible. Yeah,
Justin says, what's your guys' thoughts on the Brandon Smith situation? I should have known it was.
absolute crap show. He should not be making the comments that he's making. He's still a contracted Melbourne Storm player. Needs to shut his mouth and finish his contract there and then move on.
Yeah, like it's all
Not
well and good to look to like be, to be all good with the club you're going to go to because you want that to be, all great as well. But I don't think you want to be like burning bridges down before you've crossed the bridge. Like, I don't, I don't know. It's obviously like a lot of people are saying, "Oh, what's the problem?" You want players to be open and upfront, and yes, you do. But at the same time, it's when you're coming out and a lot of fans feel like they got shat on. They're like, "Well, hang on a minute. You're representing us for another year. What's going on here? Why? Oh, you want to win a competition with one of our main rivals? What? You know?" So, and then there was the drinking stuff. Which generally speaking, whatever, if you're gonna drink, you're gonna drink. Who cares, really? There was one bad part about it where they talk about spiking Dale Finucane's drink with more vodka or something. He went through like a bottle of vodka in 30 minutes. Someone online did a rough calculation. It can't be exact, obviously, but you could give someone alcohol poisoning doing that. It's pretty irresponsible. Like, these are the kind of stories, like you look at Matty Johns now and he tells all these stories. These are the kind of stories you tell after your career's done, like that nostalgic thing, not while you're a contracted NRL player. Like
no, and not especially not while you're a contracted player with the club that you're basically shit talking.
yeah, like you put it all together and it's a terrible look. And then he had his statement where it was all. I mean, it was essentially sorry, not sorry. I mean, it's like, this is who I am, this is how I talk, and you're just gonna have to, like, yeah, I said maybe some inappropriate stuff, but you're gonna have to deal with me being me. And that's great. Be you, but you have to understand the profession you're in as well is entirely reliant on sponsors and public opinion.
Like how there's been the uproar over Dane Laurie wearing his Panthers jersey on grand final night, and then there were the leaks of the pictures of Kickow
Yeah.
in the Dogs colours.
Well, you
Obviously, that happens because when they sign for a new club, they do a photo shoot of the player in their new colours. They're obviously only wearing them for that moment.
Yeah. I mean, Kickout should never have worn that. That was dumb. Like, you wait until you're actually
Your contract is
up and you start your contract with them, do a photo shoot. Because normally you'll notice when they do those pictures, whether it's in the media or whatever it might be, and I've even
They
seen fans
Photoshop
do
the
it.
colours on.
Yeah, they Photoshop their head onto like a player wearing that jersey. And you can tell it's obviously Photoshop, so no one cares. It's like, okay, fair enough, whatever. It's just someone's used a bit of, Photoshop, whatever. But, and then you look at the Dane Laurie thing, that's a good example where he ended up, if I remember correctly, he ended up having to call members and apologize.
He did.
So, I mean, for all the good in the world, we wanted to talk about the good stuff. I kind of expected people to ask about it. And, you got to give the people what they want.
It's the news flavour of the day, so we probably were going to have to discuss it eventually.
But yeah, these guys had their stuff. I mean, Kikau, I wasn't there, but apparently he got booed at the Panthers grand final celebration.
Yeah, there were some boos, but
I don't think it was too much,
many.
but still, you can understand why people would be like, hang on, what are you doing?
I do like that drama happened the day before the grand final parade, though.
It's
like
funny timing.
Magnificent timing. Absolutely spectacular.
What a coincidence. But yeah, as we said, Laurie had to call up members and apologize. Meanwhile, Smith is out here doing a sort of half apology sort of thing. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he ever had he ever intended to be spiteful towards the Storm or anything like that. I think that was more of an unintended consequence where he was just a bit too relaxed on a podcast, on a stream, kind of like we're doing now, I guess. You still have to be kind of careful. Like, even us here, like, sure, we're not particularly careful, but I mean, there's still things we couldn't get away with saying.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just general normal people with we've got no following. We're not super famous rugby league player who depends on sponsorship and TV money and all this sort of stuff. So, be yourself and all that, but you've got to also be a little bit careful and a bit measured in how you talk. Like, no one would have thought twice if he said, he's really looking forward to the opportunity to maybe challenge himself, go to a new club and work with some of the best professionals in the sport. But in the meantime,
no, he's had to drop several bombs against his old club on the way out, and he's not even on the way out yet because he's still got a full season left there.
So I mean, like, it's really unusual that it was like scorched earth. It was crazy. Like, you don't sit there and you straight up like say, you're looking forward to winning a premiership with them. I mean, we know once he goes there, he's going to obviously want to win a premiership, but it's just, I don't know, it's really kind of jarring when you see people do that.
Speaking of players shit-talking their clubs after they've left, Joey Leilua's comments that he's made
What did he
ad
say?
nauseum since leaving the Tigers.
I've seen headlines and I've gone, you know what, I am not clicking on that, and you can't make me.
He's done it at least 4 or 5 times. There was one just a few days ago. Hang on, let me find it.
But he's
you
always
talk
been
to the people
one.
while I find it.
Yeah, he's always been one to do that, though. Like, he's done it before. I think he called himself the best center in the game at one point. And then he proceeded to have the career he did for the Tigers after those comments. Justin, Reid Mahoney to the Doggies in 2023. Not official yet, but it would be great signing for them. Hooker is the position where they struggled most of. Yeah, if they can get a hooker, it's going to be ridiculous for them. I've been saying it all off-season, where that's one of the most important things they need right now. And I thought it was really close to happening, so I'm not sure. I haven't heard any more recently, but I almost thought it was pretty much a done deal, so maybe you guys in the chat might know some stuff. But I can't see him not being there. It sounded extremely sure that he was going. Ash, wasn't there like 50 F-bombs or something? Yes. Brandon Smith swore heaps on it or something. I didn't watch it. I don't really watch the YKTR guys, which stands for You Know the Rules, ironically.
And it.
But yeah, I don't, swearing thing I don't really mind so much. I mean,
yeah, just watch Tales from Tiger Town episode 2, I think it was.
Yes, they said Mad
150 plus.
Yeah, they said Mad actually broke the record or something. So, like, that part doesn't bother me. You're gonna swear, whatever. Like, I think they're talking about, like, I think there's a tweet somewhere, one of the journalists talking about, like, kids or whatever and families seeing it. I hate to tell you, but kids swear. They hear swearing from their parents, whatever. Like, hear it on TV. Like, I think that's probably one of the most inoffensive things he said on there was the swearing part of it. And I thought, who cares? So you said you found it.
I did. There's been a few. This was the most recent one, 6 days ago. And the quote is, "I wish I could take it back. To be honest, every week we changed different tactics. We just didn't have a system." And now the thing I find funny about that, Joey Leilua didn't have much of a system for defense. Look at our round 2 game against the Roosters. It was almost like he wasn't there. And he's complaining that the club didn't have a system. Why don't you have a system and actually defend your friggin' position? You
Whoa.
lazy sack of poo.
Was that the Roosters game?
Yes, round
Yeah,
2
when
against
he
the Roosters at
I
Campbelltown.
remember that. I was so angry about that game.
He just left Brooks in the cold.
Yeah,
Brooks got a lot of the blame for it, but he was the one who just left Brooks in the cold.
That's why I got so angry about it, because Brooks got absolutely hammered for that game, and you go and watch that game, and he gets absolutely left just hanging. Like, you know, your half is like 30 kilos wringing wet, so your 100 kilo center is like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch.
I don't feel like it.
I can't be bothered. No, get stuff. That's like, if you put the effort in and it didn't work out, you'd be like, well, hey, the Roosters are just too good, I guess. But yeah, you don't leave your little guys hanging like that. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, he's got pretty big raps on himself though. Like I said, remember he called himself the best center in the game, and then I think pretty sure he said that while he was at the Tigers.
He did. That was a pre-season interview.
So I'm like, he's always been one to have a few words, and it's great being confident and all, but you got to back it up with your actions.
I found one of the others. If I can load it.
Wait on that. Ash says Jeremy Marshall King is underrated. I don't know. I think he's rated fine. Like, he's not superstar, but he can do a job. I don't know. I read that one. Oh, you got it?
No, I couldn't load the picture. I'm just trying to find it.
But you look at that. See, there's no shortage of PJ talking himself up. While he's doing that, I'm going to go back to this Benji story.
Here it is. There was an article about him last month being offered a train and trial contract at the Tigers. And he goes on his Instagram story.
Hang on. Let me guess. Okay, I don't know how this goes. Let me guess. So he's going to say that's beneath him. He's too good for that. In whatever his own words, but that'll be the point.
Nice try. Yeah, he went. Yeah, he basically posted on his story that he said, "This is another lie. Never got offered to go there for a train and trial. Get your facts right. By the way, I wouldn't play for someone that blames the team all the time and not once himself. #Madge."
Ow! Shots fired.
Indeed.
So, like, you need to be accountable for yourself. Like, he's not the one out there missing the tackles. He's not the one backpedaling in defense. You know, he's not the one dropping the ball. I'm not going to name any names on that one. But, like, if you can't do basic stuff like that, you don't get to blame the coach. You need to fix your shit up, basically.
Essentially, yeah.
That's my swear word. I'm gonna keep a tally, and I'll see if I can catch Brendan Smith. But
yeah, so that's been the story of Joey Leilua since he been dropped by the Tigers.
Yeah. Is anyone surprised?
Anyway, let's go back to the good news.
Yeah, back to the good news. We let chat run us off course, which is fine.
It's like,
we love the chat.
I reckon if we have like a 75% good, 25% bad news stream, then we're still doing all right.
It's no surprise chat are asking. I mean, it's what's all over the place at the moment. Social media is absolutely crawling with it. You can't, like, I know I can't. I scroll down my Twitter feed, and every second or third tweet is, Brandon Smith at the moment.
And like you said, we're giving the people what they want.
Yeah, we love the chat. We can't say no to you. Chat just sort of gives us the puppy dog eyes, and we cave.
Cave like a souffle.
Where was I? Yeah, so Benji the Great. Where am I up to? Yeah, so it was at a time when Benji Mania, as Robbie Farrow calls it. Oh, here we go. Justin says, Aaron, are you happy with Junior Tapau coming to your club?
I haven't heard too much about him, but he's come from the Brumbies, I believe.
Did you see what the headline? The headline I saw was Tapau signs with the Tigers, and I'm like, you clickbaiters.
Yeah.
They made it sound like the guy from the Roosters or whatever. It's gone and signed with him.
Daniel Tupou.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I wonder if he's related to Daniel Tupou.
I don't know. I haven't looked too much into it, other than the fact that you guys signed someone.
I did a little research to try and find out because I was curious. But yeah, I couldn't find anything. But yeah, I like it. Obviously, he's filling a position we need a bit more depth in. He comes from the Brumbies, so he's got some background there. So yeah, not a terrible signing. I think he'll be an all right quality backup if we need him throughout the season next year. But yeah, curious to see how he shapes up over the preseason and into next year.
It's just good to see the Tigers get actually a fair amount of fresh blood into the team this year. I think losing guys like BJ, no offense to him, I know it sounds like we probably shat on him a bit, but the 2 swear words, by the way. But honestly, like, I think it sounds like whatever happened, there's a rift there. I mean, you don't talk like that about the coach if you wanted it there, or... Sorry, Ryan, half of that Smith stuff is probably me. See what we've... It's either Christmas or Brandon Smith at the moment.
Yeah, Chloe's been active on the Twitter about her opinions about Brandon Smith.
See,
also, Chloe, I'm going to publicly humiliate you just because I can and say happy birthday for tomorrow.
Oh, do we have to sing happy birthday?
I mean, we can.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
I wanted to. I was desperately trying to get her to join the stream tonight so I could do that. Just that one thing.
Yeah. But see, it's funny because, like, obviously I see a tweet every now and again, but the frequency is definitely increased. So look what Brandon Smith has done. He's a monster. He's rolled up, and it was all nice Christmas tweets and stuff. He's just ruined it. I want my Christmas tweets back.
Yeah, I don't know. He's kind of just put himself in a whole pile of hot water starting with the white powder scandal.
Yeah.
I love that word, scandal.
Scandal. It's scandalous.
So scandalous.
But what can you do? I mean, I think he because he got pumped up as the lovable larrikin so often. I think it kind of just
the cheese.
Yeah, it kind of went a bit too far. I think the media fed it too much, and it just became this runaway train where it was always going to end up somewhere like this.
The Fox commentators, for example, or the Fox panel, like the late show, not the late show, but like the post-game show panel, always seem to obsess over him.
Yeah, well, they love it. They built him up as this sort of, I don't know, icon of, drinking and fun larrikin type thing. I mean, you see it after they won the grand final where it was like, oh, what are you doing? Well, I'm on a bender now, see ya. And everyone celebrated, like, oh, mate, how amazing is this guy?
And now here he is complaining about a drinking culture.
Yeah.
when he was probably one of the main contributors to said drinking culture after that grand final win.
It's like, and whatever. I don't care about people drinking, but I don't really do it much myself these days. But it's like, I don't know. Just be aware of yourself when you're talking to media, and especially like on the podcast and the different things, especially like this. Like you've still got to remember it's public. You don't get like be comfortable and happy and be yourself, but you be a little bit restrained, have a little bit of self control. Just you have to be. You can't not. The industry you're in. You'll regret that once I'm in a better mood. Yeah, I know, because it's all going to be red and green Christmas, far as the eye can see.
Maybe she's talking about my birthday wish to her.
Very possibly, but that's probably it. But I've got the Christmas thing on the brain at the moment because the wife's been building up to this week. She's like, this weekend we're doing the Christmas decorations. And I'm like, yay.
Don't worry, Chloe. You can all get me back next year. My birthday is a Tuesday, so stream night, and it'll be the pre-round one stream. So because it is literally 2 days before the first game of round one, so everyone can get back at me then. Don't worry.
Should be good. That'll be good. All right. So, do we go back to Benji or?
Let's go back to Benji.
Hey, Benji.
Love talking about Benji.
Hey,
Go
Benji.
Benji.
We missed you, Benji. Feels like forever. Yeah, let's see. We're back to the Sydney Morning Herald. It was a time when Benji Mania, as Robbie Farrow calls it, was at its peak. Everyone wanted a piece of Benji, Farrow said. It was relentless. Media, sponsors, all the fans. I used to sit back and think, I don't know how he does it. Yet still, Marshall found time for Giles. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Giles. Giles. He would spend hours at Westmead Children's Hospital by his bedside over many years. One time I said, mate, won't you be going to New Zealand for the test shortly? Was recalled. He said, yeah, I leave this afternoon. These are the stories people don't get to hear. He's sitting there a few hours before he has to get to the airport to play against Australia. A lot of players do things for publicity or because they have to. That bloke, even still now, with the odd phone call or text, genuinely cared about my son. So yeah, it's cool thing where and he kept up with it over years. This wasn't like a one out. Hey, I'm doing my community work for the club. Look at me, I'm cool. Like this is something he kept up with him for years. They said so. It's like, and he still does. It's kind of crazy. Like goes to show he genuinely cares, and it's something he really really cares about.
Just an awesome human.
Yeah, everyone still loves you, Benji.
Even though you've retired.
I'm not I don't know where I fall on the immortal discussion around Benji, but I'm absolutely not surprised it was being discussed like as soon as he retired. Like, ooh, should he be, shouldn't he be, sort of thing. What do you think, chat? Benji Marshall, the immortal?
I think everyone knows my answer.
Your answer is he should have a bronze statue.
My answer is yes,
House.
every day of the week. Hall of Famer, immortal, the whole lot. Give it to him. He's shaped rugby league in the New Zealand community. He has inspired an entire generations of young boys and girls.
Well, I was about to say, it's not even just New Zealand. It was just that whole generation of kids and people that it just overtook the NRL. It was just everybody. Everybody loved Benji, and everybody wanted to be like Benji and do the step, and it was amazing.
He's been doing so much for the game, like behind the scenes and everything like that. Like he's an absolute role model for young players. All the Benji, immortal, Hall of Famer, give it all to him.
Like, I wouldn't argue the point if he did, I think, based on what he did for the sport and how idolized he's been. There's been very few players who have got that kind of following kind of
Mhm.
love. Like it's, even if we'd lost that grand final, like the one, I still would have been happy for Benji personally. Him, the rest of South can
Oh,
get fucked, but that's three swear words.
yeah.
Like
Like
if
I
we'd
did
lost, I
not
mean,
want
like I
this.
would have been salty as hell that we lost. I mean, I don't actually mean for South to get stuff, but I meant I would have been salty as hell if we'd lost the grand final. But I still, with all the saltiness I would have had, I still would have been happy for Benji personally.
Yeah, same with me. I could not give a rat's furry ass about South Sydney, but Benji, if the Rabbits had won and Benji had walked out of that grand final with a premiership, well, I also wouldn't have walked out of the comp with $300, but if Benji had walked out with the premiership, I probably still would have been pretty bloody happy for
Yeah,
him.
he's one of those players. So yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't argue the point. I can see why there are arguments around it, but I wouldn't argue the point if they turned around and they still have the requirement where you got to be so many years. I think it's like 5 years or something after you retired.
I think so. I think that's why they took so long to start being able to nominate Darren Lockyer.
Yeah, because I remember they went through and well, in the last couple of years, went through and changed how they wanted to structure it all. So I couldn't remember all the changes they made with it. Justin says, smart from the Storms to not release B. Smith immediately. If they did, their lock position would be in crisis. Lol. Tui Kamakamika being stood down at the moment and Nas refusing the vaccine mandate. Yeah, it's a big mess. We brought up the vaccine
Yeah,
thing earlier. Like it's a crazy mess for the NRL because the NRL is going to be at the mercy of governments. Like if one of the state governments say you're from Melbourne, like the players you've named there, and Queensland says, sorry, you can't come across the border without a vaccination, well, then every time Melbourne or a Sydney team or whatever have to go there, unvaccinated players then have to sit those games out. And it's like, well, now you're paying players to not be available for every game, which I don't know how true it is, but I have seen written somewhere online where that's usually obviously a part of their contracts where they have to be able to obviously play if they're physically fit and able to. So then,
and the problem with that is, especially for the teams that aren't in New South Wales, and they have a lot more interstate traveling than any other team.
yes,
Like, I don't know how many times the Panthers have to travel out of New South Wales.
well,
I can have a
obviously it's not as much as Melbourne, who are based in Melbourne, and stuff like that, or Canberra. Melbourne and Canberra are probably the biggest ones, I think, because they're singular in their states, where at least
the Queensland
Queensland,
teams have other Queensland teams.
yeah, at least they have three teams in the state. It's not a lot. It's doesn't come to Sydney's like 8 teams or whatever, but like I said, the two teams which are literally all by themselves are the Raiders and the Storm in their states.
Yeah, I'm just bringing up the Panthers draw now because I am curious to see how many times they are going to have to travel into out of New South Wales. For the Tigers, it's 5. We head to Queensland 4 times. We have away games
Well, Magic Round to
against.
pump it up that one extra time.
Yeah, well, we have away games against the Queensland team, or each of the 3 Queensland teams. We also have the home game against the Cowboys up there for Magic Round. And we have to travel to New Zealand as well, which the Panthers have to do as well, the week before the Tigers do.
Yeah.
So let me just go through the Panthers draw.
So yeah, so Justin with the Brandon Smith thing, if they release him, I think it's pretty much giving them what they want. He gets to go to the Roosters become stronger. Like there's no downside in releasing him other than we don't want to keep someone who obviously wants to be somewhere else. That's the only benefit anyone gets out of that. Like there's so
For the Panthers, it's also 5.
yeah.
You have to go to the Gold Coast. Then you go to Suncorp for Magic Round 2 weeks later. Your next one is that game in New Zealand. You then have to go to Canberra late in the season, and your final round is up in Townsville.
Yeah. So not too dramatic, but
So you go to
obviously,
Queensland 3 times, Canberra once, and New Zealand once.
obviously, when the Dolphins come in, that'll shake things up a bit on that front. Chloe says, laughing that the Warriors don't even get a mention.
Do we consider them a Queensland team at this point? Because I think their home base is in Redcliffe, isn't it?
Yeah, like, do they get to go home yet?
I think they're hosting 5 games in Auckland.
So, I mean, I guess they go back to counting. They get, because they've been here. So they've been, like, they were based up here on the Central Coast, not far from where I am, within 30 minutes of driving my house. So, technically, they were a New South Wales team. And then a Queensland team.
Like that. Sorry, I also do like that the Warriors, they get 2 weeks or 2 games in a row with an 8-day break at Auckland or in Auckland. So they are going to have some time to see family members that are still in New Zealand during the season, which is going to be a very big boost for them once they're down there.
Yeah, that'll be good.
But yeah, so they have those 2 against the Panthers and the Tigers in rounds 15 and 16. They then go back in round 20 to play the Storm.
Yeah. And the other thing to factor in as well, we've now got this next strain of COVID stuff flying around. So, who the hell knows when the season's due to start up again? We've got like 100 days until the NRL season starts. Like, that's a long time for things to then go wrong and have to. I guarantee you they're in NRL HQ right now going, crap, we're going to have a contingency. Well, I would if I was the NRL, but the NRL being the NRL, probably playing Connect 4 or something, and because they don't play.
And their last 2 games down there, they have round 22 against the Dogs and round 25 against the Titans. So they do get 5 home games back in New Zealand, which is excellent news for them if they go ahead.
Well, that's the big question. Will it go ahead?
I'm surprised. I'm also surprised it's taken this long for an NRL player to finally contract COVID.
Well, credit to them. They made their rules. They did their thing. They got through it, and great. But it was bound to happen eventually. But
yeah, I'm just impressed it took this long.
That's actually a fair while. It took them a couple of years.
And of all players, it was Josh Aloiai.
Are you surprised?
Or O'Shea Ole, as he is now otherwise known.
On the Twitter, I have a half-naked Luai in my notifications. Oh no, Luai, sorry. Buddy, all Penrith players look the same to me. I just see the stripes and I go googly-eyed and that's it. I'm lost.
Starstruck.
Yep. I just see the jersey and that's it. I'm head over heels. I'm done.
That's all you need.
No, I have a half-naked Toto in my notifications.
Don't tell Chloe, she'll have a fit.
It was her fault.
Oh, she was the one who sent it, was she?
She's the one. She tagged it. She tagged both of us in it. Oh, I wish I could. Oh, I wish things were working right now. This is infuriating.
Oh, it was the video of
we're just
kick in the head.
We're just gonna full screen this stuff. Stretch to screen because why not? Let's do this thing. Boom! I've just hit it the full screen. Everyone can look at that because let's get a big picture of Luai topless. Marvel at it. But yes.
Marvel at its glory.
What a moment. Yeah, like, and caught on TV, that's the kind of thing where you think back on, you're like, wow, you're such a goose. But I'm glad I had that moment. Uh,
I think there are many people who are glad that there was that moment.
yes. Not least of all, Chloe.
And she's just there in her nice little dress.
yeah, yeah. Like, it's crazy to think. Flick that back.
And then she gets kicked in the head by a new fiance.
Yeah, because that's just a picture that's not does have on it. Let's see, you should see that now. Just there we go. That's the full screen picture up. It's got the caption at the bottom. When he kicks my head, laughy emoji, face palm. Look, you got proposed to. Okay, just you can't expect miracles. We do the best we can, but we always stuff something up at some point. It's what we do. Alright, let's head back to Footy Smiles. Where did you go? I think this is one you mentioned. Lachlan received. So this is Footy Smiles retweeted this one. September 23rd, Lachlan received a very special delivery today. He was so shocked he couldn't believe it. One very lucky and excited little tiger.
Yes,
Oh.
Lachlan. That's the name of the little tacker.
Yeah, I'll pop that up. So it's on the screen. So it's 2 Lachlan, Tigers, 2K22, head down, follow through, A Dewey. There you go. Cute little memento for him there. You imagine getting that, like, oh, the mail comes in and the parents are like, oh, you got some mail. Opens it up and Adam Dewey sent you a thing and you'd be like, holy crap. Like if my favorite player of all time is Brad Fittler. If I had something like that from him as a kid, I would have practically died.
And we would not be streaming right now. You'd be gone.
Yes, or I just wouldn't stop talking about Brad Fittler. One of the two. and then Aaron would kill me, and I'd be dead anyway.
But no, there was actually, I don't know if I've posted it to you or sent it to you. Actually, I could send it to you if you want me to. But he went and had a pair of armbands made for himself and Adam earlier in the season. I'm going to try and find it. It was just the cutest moment. He presented the one for Adam to Adam after the Knights game in Newcastle, I think it was, early in the season.
Yeah.
Trying to remember his mum's name. What's his mum's name? I've forgotten it.
Oh, another Tigers one. What is it with Tigers? You guys had it crap on the field, really good off the field.
We're the good club.
See, it's that old saying: "Nice guys finish last." You need to get a bit of mongrel about yours.
But we still don't have a wooden spoon, so
I don't even know how you like. It's like they're so committed to not winning anything they won't even win a spoon. It's like, what? But you should see it up. I know I've had to cut out the chat and everything because it won't resize properly and everything. But if we want to actually share with people so you can see it, I've had to dodge it, unfortunately. But here, West Tigers tweeted, Footy Smiles retweeted it. I really just wanted to let the club know what a quality bloke Joe is and to thank him for making my little girl feel special. Love this story. So, Joe Oppahengawi brings joy for young fan. Let's click on this link because I actually like to give the clicks to the good stories to encourage more good stories because that's how it works. The more things get clicked on, they chase that for its revenue. Oppahengawi brings joy for special young fan. West Tigers forward Joe Offengawi first met a special young rugby league fan called Lily when he was playing for Brisbane. After an enthralling clash against the Cowboys in 2018, Offengawi threw a small foam ball into the crowd for Lily, instantly making Lily a huge fan of Joe. He was referred to as Best Friend Joe in the family of Broncos supporters. See, I told you Broncos are good at this. So there you go, Justin. Not only are you on the up on the field this year, you're full of good guys. Sometimes. With Offengawi linking up with the West Tigers in 2021, Lily's support followed. Converted her. Cheering the Maroons' origin representative on all season in his new colours. Alongside her father, Lily made the trip to Rockhampton to watch Joe and his new teammates take on Cronulla Sharks late in the season. It's cute. Father Brad tells a special story between the two on the day. When Joe was walking back to the interchange bench during the game, we yelled out to say hi to Joe. Lily said, "I miss you, Joe," to which he replied, "I miss you too." This absolutely blew me and Lily away, especially considering she was telling everyone who would listen that she was going to watch her friend Joe play. My partner then sent a message to Joe on Instagram thanking him for acknowledging Lily and making her day, but his response absolutely blew us away. He asked for our address and proceeded to send Lily a special gift, which her teachers even asked her pardon me, even asked her to what is it? I thought that was my brain breaking. They haven't written that properly. So her teachers even asked her to bring into school the next day. I won't play it just because I'm a bit funny on the copyright. I'm not sure how that'll all go. It's on the Tigers website.
I don't think there would be any copyright because it's not a video posted
that's
by...
Joe. It's on his... Is that his Instagram? His personal Instagram. So I'll play it, and because I don't think there'll be copyright there.
There shouldn't be. But I was watching this, and all I could do was go, "Aww."
Like,
it's so cute.
Your gift from your friend of live Joe.
Ah. Get your hair out of your mouth.
Open it.
Yeah, you can open it.
Oh, what's going on? Do we have to click the button?
Finish it.
Use that a bit.
Oh my god!
The video's in a few parts as well.
Hey.
Yeah, I thought as much. I saw the little
Look at that!
It's enormous.
tabs you gotta press.
Oh wow!
Oh my god, has she got a shirt and it's signed?
That'll fit you forever.
Yeah.
Look at that!
I think we're buying bigger.
When you're bigger. That's pretty special, hey? What would you like to say to Joe?
I want to send them a pasta. I'll say I like your gift.
You're a very lucky girl, aren't you?
Part 3 is a picture. How cute is that? It's adorable. I'm not tearing up. It's just an overswell of testosterone.
Someone's cutting onions.
Yeah, it's the testosterone builds up sometimes and just sort of starts welling out the eyes. That's adorable.
Someone's cutting onions.
Yeah. Damn wife again. I'm going to have to tell her off about that. No, don't cut the onions while I'm streaming. See, there's so many good guys. And that the Tigers themselves had to basically, they did the article, put it on their thing, tweeted it, and Footy Smiles retweeted it. Like, that's the extent of it being published out there into public.
And it deserves to be out there. Like,
Yeah, it does.
I said it before, these players, they have the ability to be heroes to these kids, and some of them take it. Some of them do wonderful, incredible, amazing things, and it is so good to see. You get all these happy, positive stories, and it's a bit of a shining light in, honestly, what can sometimes be a very dark time for stories about NRL players.
Yeah. Especially because even if one or two do the wrong thing, it becomes so sensationalized that it's just all you hear about week after
Yep.
week, 50 times a day. And it's like even though
we're going to be hearing about Brandon Smith now for at least a couple of weeks.
the off season's going to be Anthony Milford and Brandon Smith, and it's like, oh, but there's so many stories like this out there that you could be talking about. Like I said, Footy Smiles doesn't have that many followers when you really think about it. You know, when a popular rugby league tweet, you know, or person can have a much bigger following than that.
And they deserve to have many more followers than they do.
Yes. They should be by rights one of the biggest. But I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. South. In response to rising COVID cases in the inner city, South Cares has teamed up with New South Wales Health, Redfern Aboriginal Medical Services, and City of Sydney to establish a pop-up COVID testing clinic, Redfern Community Centre. Well, there you go. That's nice. See, helping out, get people tested, make sure to look after people, and legitimately looking after people's health. So, congrats to South there for putting themselves out. And South Cares, obviously, that would be their sort of little organisation to go with all the community work. So the fact that they've even got that as a dedicated sort of part of their club is really cool too. And what's this one? A New South Wales Blues fan ran into Jack White on the Gold Coast and got a photo with him up show his son. Okay. Jack then headed back inside and came back out with his New South Wales Blues blazer to give the man's son. My eldest boy gonna be stoked because he loves the way old mate plays, he said. That's cute. See, even like a little thing like that, you know, back to the point you were making about them being heroes, like, to them, it might seem like a small thing, but to these to people, and like, geez, I'm one of them. You know, my kids are one of them. Like, you know, it's huge.
You can see the adoration that a lot of these kids, Lachlan in particular, have for some of these stars, and it's amazing to see the impact that these players are having on some kids' lives.
Yeah, like I remember when I took my family here down to their first game in 2016, and it was Penrith versus Eels at Panthers, and Trent Merrill was high-fiving people in the crowd and that, and my daughter was one of the people who got a high five. She was quite little at the time, and for the rest of the year, you could not hear anything about the football other than Trent Merrin. Because you got a high five, and it's like it's the smallest little thing ever, and it's just huge to people. So, what's this say? Working out Gold Coast and bumped into Jack White. And long story short, he walks back out after the first photo with his New South Wales full blazer kit 2021 and offers that my oldest boy going to be stoked because he loves the way old mate plays. Down to earth bloke, appreciate the love. I don't know. Makes me feel all feelings and stuff when you hear that sort of stuff. It's so nice and warm and fuzzy.
All the feels.
Yeah. Matt Chechen, give him proper send off. Enjoy retirement. There you go. And everyone, I know we give refs grief, like, constantly. We never actually stop. But, you know, without them, we don't have a game either. So, that's something we've got to remember.
I'm putting an Adam Dewey related link in the server for you. Like, no matter where he's playing, if little Lachlan's there, he finds him. he manages to find Lachlan, or Lachlan manages to find Adam, and there's always a moment for a photo, and it's just the cutest thing ever.
Yeah.
And he actually, like, he followed the Tigers everywhere this year, little Lachlan. I'm pretty sure he went to almost every game before the season was moved up north.
That's cute. He's a diehard.
Poor little bugger was even up there when we got walloped by Melbourne.
And I bet he still wasn't down on the team.
He was not. I think Adam wasn't playing that game, was he? I remember him making a comment of some sort about we would have won if Adam had been playing or something like that, and I just thought it was the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, that's cute. Like, he's his hero. Here we go, Justin. Here's one for you. Full credit to Jermaine Asako for supporting Share the Dignity, an organization who provides feminine products to those who can't afford it themselves. So that's kind of cool. Like,
oh, here it is. Here's the one I was looking for. It wasn't the Knights game in round 3. It was the Panthers game in round 13. He got... This is the cutest thing ever. Go look at this post that I've sent you.
all right, let's have a look. Where have you sent it?
In the media for responses.
Ah, okay. Let's go there. Click. Alright, where are we? Here we go. I ordered Lachlan a special-made personalized Dewey wristband that he wears every day. He asked me order an adult one to give Adam so they could be matching. Last night at the end of the game, Lachlan excitedly gave Adam his one. Okay, that's cute ass.
Told ya.
That's cute.
And I would have no doubt in my mind that Adam would still have his somewhere.
Oh, yeah, he seems like the type of guy who would definitely have that. Like, he wouldn't chuck it or not, anything like that. He's definitely one of the good guys of the game. As I was saying before, I think most people really like him. He's one of those that transcend the tribalism of the game in that respect.
What a good fun night that was. Should I remind you about how that night went?
Yeah, there was... I remember that, because that's the night that Gladys Berejiklian came out and cancelled all public sporting events because there was like this crazy rash of COVID cases that day.
No, there was also a massacre at Leichhardt. It was a great night. It was fun times.
Yeah, I think you played the Storm that night. Yeah, that the chat will believe that one.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, it is cute. And yes, we suffered that night, but hey, that's a cute ending to it though. I'll take it. If that's how the night ended, I'll take it.
Yeah, Adam's always got time for little Lachlan. It is the cutest thing ever. It is absolutely adorable, and I love it.
Yeah. But see, that's the sort of stuff that should be getting like screamed from the rooftops. Yeah, you talk about the effect on the game and sponsors and all that sort of stuff. Like, what does this stuff do? This is the stuff that sponsors want to have in it. Like, to be on that topic for a minute, you look at that picture there. Plastered front and center in this picture is the banner for the sponsor.
Yep.
Because of the placement on the jersey. Like, you couldn't ask for better advertising than that. Like, that's the kind of thing that you'd think sponsors would be head over heels for.
Absolutely.
Because Adam Dewey's doing this awesome, cute thing, and boom, there's the sponsor right there, center frame. Big letters. Like, look at us. That's the sort of stuff that promotes the game.
Absolutely is. The stuff we're all here for.
Yeah. Ad for Grand Theft Auto. Mulatalo. Here we go. Ronaldo Mulatalo is next level. He just gone off with a suspected broken jaw, which will likely end his season, and he still had the presence to find young Sharks fan in Rockhampton and giving you his boots. We wish him all the best in his recovery. That's pretty nuts. He's like, hey, my face is broken. Anyway, where's a fan I can do something nice for? Like most people would be like, I don't know, out the back on the painkiller and that kind of green thing that the paramedics have, and they're sucking that down.
I do remember that. Like that was the game against us where he got absolutely walloped in the face.
Yeah. Like, especially like that can't have been comfy, and he still fought to go over it. Like, I like that. NRL Nights. My son's first NRL game, and he experienced Kalen throwing his headgear to him. Please pass on our sincerest thanks and let Kalen know he has changed a young boy's life by doing this. He can't stop talking about it. Oh, that's kind of cool. Imagine how he must have felt. It's adorable. Isn't that not just like the cutest picture ever?
Yeah. I like the Bulldogs hat, a Knights flag.
Hey, kid loves his footy. I think he's going to be a Knights fan, though. I don't know how much longer that dog's hat's going to last.
No, it might get thrown to the ground soon.
And the interesting part is that's a South jacket.
I was about to
jumper,
say there's a Rabbits jumper as well. So
and that shirt is a Dragons shirt.
He's represented, isn't he?
Oh, he is. He loves his footy. That's kind of cute. It's like, I don't know, maybe he doesn't have a team. Maybe he just loves the game, and maybe he'll pick a team as he gets older, which I think Kalen might have decided for him then. But
yeah, Kalen, whatever team Kalen's in, he might have had that choice made.
Yeah, I think that tends to decide it for a lot of people. You hear stories like that where something like that will happen. That's how people pick their team quite often. So don't underestimate the gesture. As you guys got 1, 2, 3. So that's 4 teams I'm counting in that photo.
Yep.
Gotta love it. And then the look
like
on his face.
We saw the headgear stuff with Jonathan Thurston, and the fact that he gave away so many headgears to so many young kids, like, absolutely awesome. And he'd often seek out a fan of the team that he played against to give the headgear to as well. Like, so it was more than just his own fans or his own team's fans that got something out of their games. The opposition, the young opposition fans also got something. It was just awesome.
Yeah, he just wanted to do good. He didn't care. There we go. Cody Walker. For Cody Walker, inspiring the youth is a great passion. This year, his work setting up Rise Warriors, a program that uses rugby league as a vehicle for kids to relate to their mental health, was a catalyst for his nomination. So that was his nomination with the Ken Stephen Medal. So yeah, good on him. Sounds like a really good cause. Oh my god, I just can't escape him. He's everywhere. August 5th, the tireless and passionate support Adam Dewey's rallied after the explosion in Beirut 2020 was phenomenal. I was trying to do something ASAP. It was just a small thing that I knew was going to be big for our hometown. Best of luck, mate. So the Ken Stephen nomination. Seriously, he's everywhere.
Yeah. This is now the Adam Dewey show.
Yep. Maybe with a guest appearance with a
the Adam Dewey show with some guest appearances from those other guys.
the NRL guest appearance every now and again. Jamal Fogarty is one of the greatest contributors to the Gold Coast Titans we've seen. Among his many contributions, he was recently named as the literacy champion of Jarjum Gurema. My pronunciation is completely butchering that, so I apologize. A children's book teaching Yagambe language of the Mananjali area. So obviously it's indigenous stuff, so pronunciation of the words is horrible. So, not trying to be disrespectful. I am just terrible at it. But it's really cool. So, especially with reading, like I think it's important. It's a massively important thing. Too many kids you hear go. I don't know the exact numbers, but like, you know, you'll want kids to be able to read, write, and do all that sort of stuff. It's huge. We're big on that even with our kids, and so for him to get out there and be pushing that's actually really cool. Try not to cry. All right, let's watch the video.
Try not to cry, cry a lot.
Hang on, let's rewind it. I'm gonna rewind this.
Take care.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yes. You saw some footage of the Tigers players and staff being reunited with their families in episode 4 of the doco as well, and it was some of the cutest scenes ever.
Because, yeah, I remember they weren't allowed to get up there for a while this season.
Yeah, and then there was the 2 weeks of forced quarantine.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah, that would have been such a huge moment.
One thing I would like to show off, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it, but the Tigers game day team announcement for our game against Manly up at Suncorp.
Is that the one where the fans did it, or families?
The families, yeah. I absolutely loved watching that and seeing the families of the players introducing the player. I thought it was such a cool thing that the club did.
Yeah.
One of those many
that was
moments
cute.
where I was proud to be a Tigers fan. Like, the season may have gone to poop, but it was an absolute amazing thing that the club did to bring the families into the game.
Yeah. And especially the last couple of years we've had, like, that whole thing around family and all that sort of stuff. It's been pretty important. So, yeah, it's like, actually, I haven't even seen mine for a couple of years. So, yeah, it's nice to see that sort of stuff. What's this? A
Yes.
Queen's birthday treat for 100-year-old Thelma and her family.
St George at Stadium Australia, and I'm going to pick up Thelma. She's 100 years old. A month and a half, we went over to wish her happy birthday. Now we're going to pick her up and take her to the football. I'll see you in a minute.
They're playing music, so I'm not playing that just in case. But on the Bulldogs for looking after her. And the Bulldogs great at that. But no, I'm not going to play it just in case of the music, because then they'll hit us for copyright, and all because we're trying to show something cool. What else have we got in here? After receiving Ronaldo Mulatalo's playing jersey earlier this year, young Sharks fan Conrad, who is battling with acute lymphoblastic leukemia and fusarium, decided to reciprocate the favour from their very special relationship between the two.
Leukemia, and for the last...
Oh, why do they all have to have like dramatic backing music? That's the sort of stuff that like 3 seconds and boom, video's gone.
Yeah, like I noticed part of our last stream was
Yeah,
copyright claimed.
like it doesn't take much at all. That's the problem.
I think
Do
it was
that.
like a a 10-second clip or something from your Tigers highlight reel.
Yeah, it was
Got
practically nothing.
claimed.
So I mean, so you got to be really careful, unfortunately. So I'll leave it muted for the music. Music is even worse than video. I'll get you like instantly. But this is a really cute story if you could hear it. See if I can.
And his family.
I've got Conrad's jersey.
Yeah, see that music will just kill us. Damn it, because this is the one I really wanted to find the most. This was a really awesome one. This is one of the ones where you're like, I'm not crying, you're crying.
And someone's just cutting onions.
Yeah, just all the onions.
Just brings back a bit of memories, but thank you very much and appreciate that. And I'm sure I'll continue.
Because he's trying not to break down. So I tried to catch a little bit of that audio where you can hear Ronaldo. He's almost breaking down and getting emotional. And
Hang on. Grab the link for this video, post it in the Discord, and I'll take it and post it in the chat so everyone else can have a listen to it as well. Once we're done.
Go. All right. Yeah, hopefully links can go up in the chat. I know sometimes YouTube can be a bit funny with links, so yeah.
Let's see if it works.
But that's one I think people should watch. That's the one that I really wanted to get at today because it's really good. But that music will kill us, so make sure to click that link and go and watch it. And
if not, copy and paste.
Yeah. But that one's a good one. Yeah, music again. Oh, I get why it's done, but when they're not thinking of the YouTubers, somebody think of the YouTube. Another good one. Forever their heroes. We're thankful for the incredible Down syndrome community and especially the 26 Down syndrome Queensland participant who ran out with the team yesterday. That's June 21, so that's obviously mid-year. But we're trying to look at the year in general, so we're not. There's no limit here. It was an awesome moment. It's cute as. Adam Reynolds is capturing the hearts of Broncos fans before he arrives. Young Nate is inspiring the Broncos as he battles leukemia, so Adam wanted to meet the brave young fellow himself. The family had an amazing moment with him and will no doubt love him even more in 2022. Oh, there you go. Justin, some more Broncos. A while back, we shared the story of a brave young fighter named Nate who has captured the hearts of the Broncos. He's currently undertaking treatment on his leukemia, but he loves nothing more than getting down to Broncos training. Last Thursday night, he led the Broncos out to the field. After the game, as the players were heading into the sheds, a Rabbitohs staff member let the Broncos know Adam Reynolds wanted to meet Nate and his parents. He gave Nate his jersey and took time to chat to parents Ben and Louise. The family said it was amazing and he was so lovely to them. Look at that. You didn't just buy a great half. You brought a good guy too. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, and like I'm remembering I sent you a cup when I was going through looking for stories that we could go through. I sent you what was it? A thread of players who during Magic Round went up to meet fans and like to see fans who couldn't come down to the fence. And
yeah, I remember that. Where are we? I'll see if I can go track it down.
You wouldn't have to go too far down from here.
Yeah, where are we? So it's just this one post. Let's have a look. So this is What a night. Fantastic trip to Suncorp. Well done. West Tiger Shoes. Stripes, NRL, blah, blah. So this is from Magic Round. They're in the crowd there. Oh, look at that. Click on the first picture and guess who it is. You'd never guess. Adam Dewey. That cheeky, warm smile and haunting me now.
I did tell you this was the Adam Dewey show now.
Yeah, it was the Adam Dewey with special guest star NRL from time to time. Ah, and Dane Laurie.
Good old Dano. Looking forward to having him back.
Cute. So yeah, we've been through some good stories. I've got an early start, so I can't hang around forever and a day. I've got to be up at 3 o'clock. Go team.
Ew.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
say.
a whole lot of just blech.
Yeah. So that's great fun. And Aaron says he needs to eat apparently today, so there you go. Apparently
I would like to eat. Food would be nice.
Tigers fans require sustenance like the rest of us. See?
I
Tigers
have
fans
to
are
have
people
a
too.
relatively early night, so food would be quite a good thing as well.
Well, you're going to need the energy now because Chloe's obviously coming after you for the birthday wishes. So happy birthday again for tomorrow. And hopefully you have a good day.
Yes, the big quarter century.
Never remind them of the actual age.
Oh, I do that deliberately, and she knows it.
Yes, well, R.I.P. Aaron Thompson.
Me. Yep, R.I.P. me, and I might not be here next week, guys. We'll see how I go.
But the positive in that we can cover the funeral live, so...
I was about to say,
content.
speaking the next week, we don't actually know what we'll be doing yet, so...
It's your funeral. Should be good. We'll have a look at it because obviously we're going to probably get asked a lot of questions about the signings and the media stuff. So we'll see on the Discord what everyone wants and go from there. Did want to sort of pump out some of this positive stuff this week though. I thought it's good to sort of remember that it happens. It can be very easy to get bogged down in all the drama when the drama is, I'm a firm believer that it's in the minority of rugby league. We just hear more of it because it's what sells in the papers and that. But generally speaking, clubs and players are very good people, wonderful people, and great organizations.
Giggling evilly. I'm just giggling evilly because I got a text message from Chloe.
I am not surprised. It's
She's just like, why would you do that? So unnecessary with laughing emojis, and I'm just thinking evil thoughts.
Yep. Hey, if you're gonna do it, you might as well just commit.
For sure.
All right, guys. Hope you guys had fun. It was a bit of a chaotic stream. The technology not working properly, but still,
When our stream's not chaotic.
yeah, make the last one all fancy, get clips going, everything's working well. This week, can't even make an internet page work properly. The football gods are cruel and have a weird sense of humour. But we got copious amounts of Adam Dewey, so let's count that as a win for the week.
It's an absolute win.
So we're all winners tonight.
Especially little Lachlan.
That's a cute story. A lot of cute stories around. And there is a lot more out there, so keep your eye out for it and share it around and bring exposure to it.
Yeah,
Right,
if anyone in the server sees any more good news stories pop up, then send them to us in the Discord, and yeah, we'll always try and find some time to incorporate some good news stories into our streams when we get them.
Alright guys, have a good night and we will see you next time.